Michael Jordan just dropped a nuclear payload on the basketball world.
My silence ends now. Nikola is more of a GOAT candidate than LeBron.
And that is barely scratching the surface. We are going to dissect exactly what was said, the intent behind it, and stack Jokic against James in a light you have never seen before. Strap in, because by the time we wrap this up, you will understand how the Joker is quietly dismantling every assumption about power dynamics in this league and why the Kings' claim to the crown might be shakier than he admits. When the absolute best to ever lace them up points a finger and says you are the chosen one, the debate is effectively over. Jordan did not stutter.
My silence ends now. Nikola is more of a GOAT candidate than LeBron.
Let's be real. His airness is on the money. The Serbian center isn't just playing well, he is engineering one of the most terrifyingly dominant runs in history. That sheer force of nature is why even Jordan had to speak up. Look at the numbers from last season alone. Over 70 contests, Jokic put up 29.6 points, 12.7 boards, and 10.2 dimes a night. That is rarefied air. Before him, only Oscar Robertson and Russell Westbrook ever managed a triple-double average for a full campaign. Now, Jokic sits at that table. But the current timeline, it is even more absurd. Right now, he is clocking in at 29.6 points, 12.8 rebounds, and 11.1 assists. All while shooting 62.6% from the floor. The efficiency is off the charts. He does not force the issue, he just executes. The analytics paint a brutal picture. His efficiency ratings and plus-minus figures rival the absolute peaks of basketball history. He is not just padding the stat sheet, he is a force multiplier. The data from Denver confirms it. With Jokic on the hardwood, the Nuggets operate at a plus 5.3 net rating. The offense flows quicker, sharper, lethal. It is by design. He is the engine. Remove him and the machinery breaks down to a negative 4.5 rating. The most jarring part, he does all of this in silence. He barely acknowledges the noise. You do not see the flashy marketing, the documentaries, or the calculated social media presence. He clocks in, hangs 30, 15, and 12 on your head, and heads to the locker room. That creates a stark contrast when you measure it against guys who manufacture their legend before the game even starts, especially in this new era where players chase celebrity status over on-court excellence. Jokic skips the pageantry. He carves out his legacy play by play. And the reliability is terrifying. This isn't a hot streak or a lucky week. It is a grind night in and night out with elite production. Watching Denver right now is not just watching a sport. You're witnessing a masterclass. The vision, the intelligence, the glass work, the clinical finishing, and the tempo. It is a symphony of basketball violence. And that specific brand of control rooted in cold, hard data, tangible impact, and zero drama is what separates the good from the immortal. That is the resume of a true contender, endorsed by the man who sits on the throne. This level of command, efficiency, and power has been gaining momentum for seasons. When you step back and view the total body of work, Jordan's perspective clicks. Jokic is effectively speedrunning a Hall of Fame career. Check the hardware. 3 MVP awards, 2020, 2021, and 2023. And anyone paying attention knows 2024 was robbery. But wait, there is more. In 2022, he averaged 24.5 points, 11.8 boards, and almost 10 assists with a 63% true shooting score. He dragged that roster to the summit and topped the league in nearly every advanced metric. Yet the MVP trophies are just the opening act. The real story begins with the 2023 title run. That is where the legacy went supernova. Jokic didn't just secure a ring. He orchestrated one of the most dominant playoff campaigns ever recorded. Through the postseason gauntlet, he averaged 30 points, 13.5 rebounds, and 9.5 assists on ridiculous efficiency. In the finals, he leveled up. 30.2 points, 14 boards, 7.2 dimes, 58%. From the field against a ferocious Miami defense with Eric Spoelstra throwing every scheme imaginable at him, they blitzed. Him trapped him and got physical. It was irrelevant. He controlled the game as if he owned the gym. And if you think that was a fluke summer, look at the lifetime playoff stats. They are even more insane. His postseason averages hover around 27.2 points, 12 rebounds, and 7.5 assists on 60% true. Shooting, that puts him shoulder to shoulder with LeBron at his absolute apex. But here is the kicker: Jokic is operating with better, pure efficiency. The man isn't beating you with raw athleticism. He dominates through intellect, touch, and impeccable timing. It is clinical. Oh, and incidentally, he brushed the Lakers aside in 2023 and 2024. LeBron was right there, yet he sent that squad packing like it was a formality. In 2023, he put up 27.8 points, 14.5 boards, and 11.8 assists, making Anthony Davis look completely lost on the defensive end. It wasn't just Los Angeles, though. Jokic has systematically dismantled every elite defensive unit he has encountered. He exposed Minnesota's so-called Twin Towers Rudy Gobert, a four-time Defensive Player of the Year, and Karl Anthony Towns along with Jaden. McDaniel's widely considered one of the premier perimeter lockdown artists in the game. What about Phoenix with Durant and Booker? The Heat? The Clippers? It makes no difference. None of them possess the personnel or the tactical blueprint to slow him down. He is the singular force in this league, compelling coaches to shred their defensive game plans every single round. You cannot scheme for Jokic. You simply choose which limb you are willing to lose. Then you have to deal with the efficiency, which is arguably the most terrifying aspect. The man has logged multiple seasons with a true shooting percentage between 63 and 68%, all while dropping 25 to 30 plus points a night. That alone is absurd. Then you throw in 8 to 10 assists, 12 rebounds, and the fact that the advanced analytics crown him king virtually every year. We have never witnessed a center who blends the scoring touch of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the vision of John Stockton, the fundamental rebounding of Tim Duncan, and the floor generalship of Magic Johnson into one package. Not once. And if you think that is just hyperbole, look at the record books. First, he sits alone with the most triple-doubles ever recorded by a big man. Second, he holds the record for the most triple-doubles in a single playoff run by a center. Third, he is the first pivot in league history to average a triple-double over a full 82-game slate. Fourth, he boasts the highest playoff assist average for his position. Fifth, he owns the best playoff true shooting percentage for a primary option in the modern statistical era. Sixth, he is the solitary player to ever log multiple playoff games with 30 points, 20 rebounds, and 10 assists, to possess a resume heavy enough to make Michael Jordan pause and admit, yeah, this guy might be the heir apparent, is the ultimate validation for a modern athlete. The scary part: Jokic isn't done. He is operating at the absolute peak of his powers. The accolades are staggering, but the origin story is even more improbable. To understand how he became this monster, we have to leave the arena and travel back to a quiet corner of Serbia, a childhood defined by horses and a lifestyle that shunned the spotlight. Born February 19, 1995 in Sombor, a sleepy town in the northern plains. Growing up, Yasa was packed into a cramped two-bedroom flat with his parents' grandmother and two older brothers. Those brothers, who were his seniors by more than a decade, played ball. Young Nikola was the shadow tagging along, jumping into pickup runs and absorbing the flow and spacing of the game. But the hardwood wasn't his only obsession back then. From the start, his heart was elsewhere: horses. His father, Branislav Jokic, managed a modest stable outside of town. So Nikola was mucking out stalls at dawn, walking the animals, riding, doing anything to maintain that rustic solitude. In fact, even when scouts started whispering about his potential on the court, he told his old man he would rather be a horseman than an NBA legend. His father's advice was pragmatic: become a basketball player first. You can be a great horseman later. That blue-collar foundation forged more than just character. It built his entire worldview. For him, it has always been about quiet labor discipline and waiting your turn. Now the road to the pros is where the story gets bizarre. This wasn't the standard American superstar pipeline. He wasn't an AAU prodigy. He was cutting his teeth in minor Serbian clubs, refining his fundamentals, growing into his frame and learning the angles. By age 19, the 2014 NBA draft arrived. He was taken 41st overall by Denver. But unlike the lottery picks with their highlight reels and media circuses, his selection didn't even make the live broadcast. The network cut away to a commercial break. The pick was announced while a Taco Bell ad rolled on ESPN.
two things you only dreamed would come together. A delicious cheesy quesadilla.
Most players would take offense. Nikola took notes. It was the same slight that drove Jordan when he felt undervalued. No wonder his airness respects the Serbian now. But when he first touched down in Denver, he wasn't the juggernaut we see today. By his own admission, his physical condition was subpar. In Mataji interviews, he tells stories about trembling while trying to hold a basic plank. But he didn't fold. He embraced the grind, he evolved. As the baby fat melted away, the game changed from raw size to refined weaponry. Yet he never severed ties with his roots. Back home in Sombor, he bought a stable and christened it Dreamcatcher after his first racer. He's been crystal clear about the endgame: retire, head back to the motherland, and spend his days with the horses. There are layers to this. The track isn't just a side gig. For Jokic, it's a mirror for his basketball philosophy. It demands patient surgical precision and ice in the veins when the heat turns up. It is quiet, disciplined calculation, not flash. And if you watch him dissect a defense in the playoffs, it's that same energy. That background forged a superstar who actively avoids the spotlight. Look at the moment he secured the 2023 title and the MVP hardware. You're a champion now, Nikola. Thoughts? His answer: it's good. Job done. We can go home. He immediately jetted back to Serbia to tend to his livestock. Compare that to the manufactured path of the typical American prodigy. Players like LeBron enter high school amid a storm of endorsements, designer gear, and media frenzy. Which brings us to a heavy statement from Jordan. His airness is casting shadows and the target is obvious. But is the assessment off?
While others chase fame, Jokic chases greatness. That's a real GOAT.
Consider the facts. James has been a walking reality show since his teens. Cameras stalking him, national broadcasts, and massive contracts before he signed a professional deal. Strangers were handing him keys to mansions and luxury rides before he played a single minute. The theatrics and the lens that is his home turf. And that is why Nikola is the antithesis of LeBron. Taken 41st overall, he ground in silence, transforming Denver from mediocre to a Western Conference powerhouse. Conversely, the King fled Cleveland to chase rings with a super team. Jordan's point is clear: self-proclaimed titles and fame-seeking do not equal greatness. And honestly, he is correct. Strip away the Twitter noise and analyze the hard data. Jokic isn't just elite, he is a paradigm shift. Let's discuss raw impact. Forget the dunk reels. I am talking about total control. Jokic posted a player efficiency rating of 31.3 in 2021. LeBron peaked at 30. True shooting Jokic hit 65.1%. James topped out at 58.6. The Joker is 6.5% more lethal per shot while battling centers in the paint. Look at box plus minus, the measure of second-by-second influence. Nikola registered a plus 10.4 at his height. LeBron's ceiling is plus 9.7. Even against James's absolute prime, the Serbian affects the outcome more heavily. That is wild considering he doesn't rely on freakish athleticism. Here's the kicker: Jokic doesn't need a co-star to function. In 2022, without Jamal Murray, he dragged Denver to the 2nd seed. In the West, elevated Michael Porter Jr. to stardom and ran that floor like a general. And it's not just Porter. Ask any teammate, past or present, and they will tell you he turns average players into weapons. Gilbert Arenas didn't hesitate to choose him over the league's best. He said you have to take Jokic over Giannis, over Wemby, over Curry. He put him above everyone.
You're going to go Jokic.
You have to.
In the whole league, Jokic over Giannis, Jokic over Wemby, Jokic over Curry, Jokic over, like the only...
Forcing him to level up. I just told him thank you for making me better. It's incredible to play against that level of talent.
I just told him thank you for making me better. It's absolutely incredible to play against a guy like that. Incredible talent. Just told him thank you for making me better.
To shine. Look at the Lakers' 2021 season. Without Anthony Davis, the team collapsed. They had to import heavy hitters like D'Angelo Russell and allegedly even courted Luka just to keep the engine running. Remove the supporting cast and the Kings' armor cracks, so weigh the evidence: maximum efficiency, advanced stats, playoff command-breaking defenses, and clutch gene. Nikola possesses the complete arsenal. LeBron has longevity, drama, and a demand that we acknowledge his status. But seasoned eyes know hanging around for 20 years isn't the same as dominating. Marketing isn't respect. Jordan made the call. Jokic has a stronger claim to the throne than James. If you doubt it, just watch the Serbian work. Watch him conduct the symphony. LeBron. Granted. But if you're still skeptical, just sit down and study Jokic. Watch him thunder down the hardwood. Watch him conduct the entire show. Run the floor stack up triple-doubles with machine-like precision, tear defenses apart. Then look at LeBron and ask yourself, who truly holds the crown? If you are struggling with the answer, listen to Joel Embiid, a monster in the paint in his own right, weighing in on the matter.
We're also dying to know what you two asked each other and said to each other during that last hug.
I just thought him as the best player in the league.
Kevin Durant took it a step further. He didn't just call him the current king, but placed him among the top 10 to ever lace them up.
We weathered the storm all night. They're a physical team. They got arguably the best player in the world, top 10 player of all time, and Jokic.
Enter the Greek Freak, two-time MVP Defensive Player of the Year. He didn't hold back praise for Jokic's basketball. Intellect. Said he plays pure ball. Makes everybody else on the floor better.
And yeah, man, he just plays the game that way. He's such a smart guy, great guy. And he plays for his teammates, and his teammates play for him.
Even the legend Dirk Nowitzki chimed in, labeling Jokic the undisputed best in the world.
But I want to know what you think about when you see Joker play.
You really got to say that he's maybe arguably the best player in the world.
Align these perspectives and you see it is not random praise. It is a consensus. The league's elite are telling you Nikola stands alone at the summit. He commands respect from the guys who actually move the needle in the NBA. That holds more weight than any highlight reel. The crown is moving to Jokic. LeBron feeds on the limelight. It is like he requires external approval to validate his superstar status. The Hollywood projects, the relentless social media curation his brand dictates. His existence. Every step is a script. If the cameras aren't rolling, did it even happen? And wait, wasn't pursuing greatness. He was chasing a storyline. And frankly, the media eats that up, focusing on the drama, rather than his work on the hardwood. Remove the glitter and you have to ask, would he command this attention without the lens focused on him? But Nikola, he has Jordan's stamp of approval. You know Jordan doesn't hand out compliments for free. The comparison isn't even valid. One man constructed an image hoping victories would trail behind. The other built a legacy of winning first. The fame was just collateral damage. That explains why Giannis, KD, and even Dirk hail him as the world's best. Okay, I know the LeBron loyalists are already typing furiously, so let's dismantle those arguments before they gain traction. First up, longevity. Sure, James has been in the trenches forever, but we are discussing peak dominance. Nikola does not require 20 years to establish elite status. He is redefining the center position right now. James might spread greatness thin over 2 decades, but Jokic achieved that impact in half the time. He has another 10 years or more to pad his resume. Then you have the scoring record defense. LeBron piles up buckets, undeniably. But context matters. LeBron's primary, perhaps only true weapon is raw athleticism, and he is high usage. Nikola scores with frightening efficiency from the 5 spot, and he keeps the assist numbers astronomical. In the 2022 to 2023 season, his passing efficiency was historic for a big man. LeBron's playmaking leans heavily on physical gifts. Nikola relies on surgical precision, intellect, and vision. It is not just speed and muscle. And folks love counting rings, ignoring that LeBron ring chased from super team to super team with 0 allegiance. Nikola, he is just hitting his stride. Already has a chip. Finals MVP, back-to-back league MVPs. He did it without a manufactured super squad, staying true to the franchise that picked him late in the draft. If Denver maintains this course, Jokic will eclipse LeBron's trophy case. Critics call Nikola dull because he skips the media circus. But here is the reality. Substance crushes style. Always. It demonstrates supreme confidence in his game. The fact that Jordan identified him as a player chasing greatness rather than clout. That is validation money cannot buy. So, sure, the James camp can shout about longevity and highlight reels, but an honest, realistic comparison leaves no room for debate. That is the bottom line. Nikola Jokic is not just padding the stat sheet. He is systematically destroying expectations and proving that brilliance beats the hype machine every single day.